Let's begin by offering our respects to the founder Acharya of ISKCON, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpa Taru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay, so we welcome all of you to our weekly Bhagavad Gita classes. We are currently on chapter 4. We have with us today Meena Bharwani, Auntie Neeta, Aja, Disha Jadwani, Disha Milwani. I don't know who is iPhone 5. Then we have Karuna Jadwani. We have Lal and Mehak Milwani. Then we have Lavina, Manju, NC Venkatchari, Pavani, Rajiv Kumar. And my parents are there. We have Ranjit Das. We have Sutasini. We have Shivani, Venkatesh Prabhu, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. And we have Shri Hari Radha Mataji. And we have Hema.
iPhone 5 is a Puja Mataji. Danvat Pranam Beta. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Okay, Puja Mataji, she's joining us for the first time?
No, I'm Pooja. I'm not joining you.
Oh, Pooja. Okay.
I don't know why I appear as iPhone 5. I have no idea. Oh, well.
Okay. All right. Okay, glad to know.
You.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So in the previous class, what did we see?
We were talking about the pious, impious reaction of the work.
Yes, very nice.
And bona fide spiritual master about.
Yes, bona fide spiritual master also we discussed. And in today's class, we will see a very, very important shloka where Krishna recommends that one should accept a bona fide spiritual master, how one should surrender to a guru, how one should inquire from a guru. So that is actually a key memory verse also, very nice verse. If you want to memorize, it's always good to memorize shlokas. So this is a key memory verse which we will be seeing today. So we will discuss when we come to that verse. Okay, but we discussed symptoms, qualities of one who's working in transcendence. We saw some qualities from 19 to 24, verse number 19 to verse number 24, where Krishna spoke about the importance of being detached, self-control, freedom from sense of proprietorship. He talked about freedom from envy, being detached from the modes. One should be fully situated in transcendental knowledge. And all these different symptoms Krishna mentioned about one who works, qualities of one who works in transcendence. And then we saw the different kinds of sacrifices, the different kinds of yagyas that Krishna has mentioned. From verses 25 to 28, we saw in the previous class. So he started with the worship of the Devatas, and then sacrifices into the Brahman, and then restraining the senses for the brahmacharis. And then again, he spoke about the grihasthas who sacrifice the objects of the senses in the fire of the senses. Then he spoke about Ashtanga Yoga. We have discussed all this in detail in the previous class. He spoke about Hatha Yoga, Pranayama, and then giving charity and austerity, tapasya, study of the scriptures. All this he has mentioned. We are left with one more to complete this list of sacrifices that Krishna mentioned in this section. So we'll start from 29 onwards. Can you all see?
Yes, Mataji.
Who can read today?
I can, if it is.
Okay, Naveen. Let's hear the shloka 29.
स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च यतयः संशितव्रताः
Now,
अपाने जुह्वति प्राणं प्राणे पानं तथा परे प्राणापानगतिरुद्ध्वा प्राणायामपरायणाः अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति.
Translation. Still others who are inclined to the process of breath, restrained to remain in the trance, practice by offering the movement of outgoing breaths into the incoming and the incoming breaths into the outgoing, and thus at last remains in trace, stopping all breathings. Other curtailing the eating process, offer the outgoing breaths into itself as a sacrifice.
so this is the last verse where Krishna speaks of the different kinds of sacrifices. And here he's talking about breath control. Breath control is all about taking a deep, when you inhale deep, and then exhalation also. When you breathe out also, it's profound. It's for a longer extended period of time. And in between your inhalation and exhalation, you also hold on to your breath for an extended period of time. So here Krishna talks about breath control, and people who practice this, they also they say, here Krishna says, offer the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and the incoming breath into the outgoing. So see, there are different kinds of pranas, air in the body. Different kinds of airs are there that float in the body. And there is, so here Krishna talks about the outgoing air and the incoming air. So they can merge the outgoing air into the incoming air and the incoming air into the outgoing air. So it is actually very, very complicated. And thank God we have to only follow Bhakti Yoga, because this is too complex. And as we discussed in the previous class, for Kali Yoga, the easiest method, easiest process is Bhakti Yoga. So thank God we don't have to do this. 1 in a quadrillion may be able to attain success in the Kali Yoga. And also, what do they sacrifice? They sacrifice the eating. So they curtail the eating process, and their breath, the outgoing breath itself is a sacrifice. So here we have a summary of all the different kinds of sacrifices that lead to transcendental knowledge. Of course, we discussed in the previous class how when we do Bhakti Yoga, we depend on the mercy of the Lord. So devotion to the Lord, when we have, then we can depend on the mercy of the Lord. All the other processes, we depend on our own ability, on our own strength. And we saw the example of the baby monkey and the baby cat, isn't it? So when we depend on the mercy of the Lord, then although we may not be qualified, because we have the mercy of the Lord, we can attain the impossible. So it's better to engage in bhakti and gain the mercy of the Lord, because in Kali Yuga merits, certainly we are lacking. We need to enter into the spiritual world based on the mercy quota. We cannot depend on the merit quota. So you can read the summary when I share the slides in the group. Let's go to 30.
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम्.
All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifice, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere.
So here from 30 to 33, Krishna is going to talk about the purpose of the sacrifices. What is it that one attains? Why should one perform sacrifices? So what is the purpose of doing all these sacrifices that he has listed previously? So here, what is he saying? One thing is that you become cleansed of sinful reactions. So over so many millions of lifetimes, we accumulate so many sinful reactions, and we are carrying the burden of it on our shoulders, isn't it? So when we do these sacrifices, then we become cleansed of these sinful reactions. So that is one benefit. And then what is Krishna saying? That once you have tasted the nectar of the results of the sacrifice, so once you see how doing the sacrifices can make you happy, then one can advance toward the supreme eternal atmosphere. So one can advance towards the spiritual world. But of course, not all the sacrifices will take you to the spiritual world at the same pace, at the same speed. For some of them, it may require more lifetimes. But for Bhakti Yoga, at the end of this very lifetime, one can go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada said that if you chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles, then you can go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. You don't have to wait for more lifetimes. 31.
नायं लोकोऽस्त्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तमा.
O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next?
So Krishna is saying that if you don't involve yourself in sacrifices, then you cannot live happily neither here nor there, not even on this planet, not in this lifetime, and not even in the next lifetime in your next destination. So unless we don't engage in sacrifices, then we cannot be happy. If we are going to only engage in sense gratification and put ourselves in the center, we think that we are the centers of the universe. No, one tends to think that I am the controller. We want to be in control. We want to be the boss. Nobody wants to be a servant. Servant is a word that is looked down upon in this material world. But we know that we are eternally the servants of the Lord, and our duty is to serve him. So service means sacrifice. So therefore, Krishna is saying that without sacrifice, you cannot live happily, neither on this planet, nor in this life, not even in the next lifetime. See, material entanglement is a loop that is difficult to escape. See, because if one is in the mode of ignorance, one is not aware of the rules and regulations, one is not aware of what is the Shastra, one is not aware of what are the instructions of the Lord, what is it that I'm supposed to do. If I'm not aware what is karma, what is akarma, and what is vikarma, which we have discussed previously, these terms. If I'm not aware of that and if I'm ignorant, then I will commit sinful life. And because I am committing sinful life, then it means I have to remain in this material existence because I have to be paying for my sins. And when I'm staying in this material life, then again I'm in the mode of ignorance. And then again this cycle will keep continuing. So how are we going to escape this vicious cycle? We are going to escape this vicious cycle when we gain knowledge. When we have knowledge of the Shastra, then we know how we are supposed to behave. Now we know what is sinful life and what is devotional life, right? And then we can, by surrendering to the Lord, then we don't no more have to exist in the material world. We can go back to the spiritual realm. So only loophole, when can we do this, is only in the human body. Only in the human body we can gain knowledge. Only in the human body we can escape this cycle. So this human body is a very, very precious asset that we have. And we have to use the human body in the service of the Lord, not for sense gratification. This human body is not meant for sense gratification.
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्षसे.
All these different types of sacrifices are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of works. Knowing them as such, you will be liberated.
So Krishna is saying that in the Vedas, there are different types of sacrifices. He has just mentioned them, right? So all these sacrifices that Krishna mentioned, they're all there in the Vedas. They are all approved. They're all sanctioned by the Shastras. And Krishna says that they are born of different types of work. So different work. See, each one of us is different. We have different natures. So according to the nature one has, one can choose what kind of sacrifice is suitable for that person. So there are different methods which people may get attracted to, and therefore the different methods are there in the Vedas. So you can choose what is it that suits you, what is it that is convenient to you, and then gradually you can progress towards liberation. But as I said, all these different methods that are there will not take you at the same pace to the spiritual world.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयाद् यज्ञाः ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
O chastisers of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Partha, all sacrifices of work culminated in transcendental knowledge.
So Krishna is saying sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. See, one of the sacrifices that Krishna mentioned was giving in charity. Now, when one gives in charity without knowledge, so one is performing the sacrifice because he's sacrificing his material possessions. So let's say one is sacrificing his material possessions, he's giving a lot in charity, but he's not giving it with the knowledge of the Shastra. So let's say somebody is going to an orphanage or an old age home, and he's feeding the poor people or the orphanages, but then he's feeding them meat. Now he's thinking that I'm doing a lot in charity. So he's thinking that I'm doing social service. I'm doing something that's very good. Because he doesn't have the knowledge of the Shastras. He doesn't know that meat eating is a sinful activity. So therefore, Krishna is saying sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. So when we do charity or when we do any kind of social work, any kind of social service, one must do it with the knowledge of the Shastra. Otherwise, instead of getting our spiritual bank balance credited, we will get it debited. We will end up paying for something that we think that we are doing a good work. And then Krishna says that all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. So the goal of all sacrifices is to come to the stage of jnana, come to the stage of knowledge. It leads to, all these sacrifices will lead to transcendental knowledge. Remember, the title of this chapter is Transcendental Knowledge.
Mataji, one question.
Yes.
All the sacrifices like we do for our family, like father does for son or wife, or mother does for their kids. Is it called maybe say sacrifice or not? We are devoting our time. We are sacrificing our sense gratification. We are sacrificing a lot of things, a lot of effort. Is it approved by the or as per the Shastra? It's called sacrifice.
Yeah, so a lot depends on what is your consciousness. First of all, it should be within the framework of Shastra, as we discussed. Now, if you're bringing up your children, you're sacrificing your time, you're sacrificing your wealth for their education. So is it a sacrifice? If it is within the framework of Shastra, if you are bringing up your children and educating them within Shastra, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, you are not encouraging your children to do this. And if your consciousness at that time is that I am bringing up my children in Krishna consciousness, I'm sacrificing for my children because I want to please the Lord. So what is your consciousness at that time? So are you doing it as a duty because Krishna wants you to do your prescribed duty? If you're doing it with that consciousness, then yes, it is considered to be a sacrifice. So consciousness matters. And with the knowledge of the Shastra.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that the purpose of all sacrifices is to arrive at the status of complete knowledge, then to gain release from material miseries, and ultimately to engage in loving transcendental service to the Supreme Lord. So sacrifice leads to knowledge, and knowledge will lead to release from material miseries. Why? Because now that you have spiritual knowledge, one understands that yes, the nature of the material world is that it will bring me suffering. The nature of the material world is that I cannot be happy, I cannot be satisfied. So you rise above the it gives you the strength and it gives you the understanding of how to deal with the problems. It doesn't mean that there are no more material miseries, but it gives you the ability to deal with it. And ultimately, of course, when you go to the spiritual world, then there is no more material misery, because in Vaikuntha or Goloka, there is no anxiety. And ultimately, to engage in loving transcendental service to the Supreme Lord. Ultimately, that is your ultimate goal, to serve the Lord. Serving the Lord is even more higher than even liberation, even higher than moksha. A pure devotee does not even want liberation. He does not even want moksha. All he wants is to serve the Lord. Whether a devotee serves the Lord in the material world or he serves the world in the spiritual world, it does not matter to a pure devotee. All he wants is to serve. See here, there is a quote from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. Lord Chaitanya is speaking to Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami is one of his disciples. So what does Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say here? He says, Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. So what are we trying to say here is that, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying here is that when you engage in bhakti yoga, service to Krishna, then automatically you have performed all other subsidiary activities. Everything is considered to be done. You don't have to separately endeavor to give charity or separately endeavor to do tapasya or all those things that Krishna listed previously. If you are doing seva, if you're engaged in transcendental loving service to Krishna, then automatically everything else is considered to be done. You don't have to separately endeavor to do that. Firm faith and confidence is called Shraddha. If one engages in the Lord's devotional service, he is to be understood to have performed all his responsibilities in the material world. He has satisfied his forefathers, ordinary living entities, and demigods, and is free from all responsibility. Such a person does not need to meet his responsibilities separately. It is automatically done. But now we must not understand. So just because a devotee does not have to do it, that doesn't mean he will not do it. Because remember, previously Krishna has said, he gave the example of Janak Maharaj and he gave himself as an example, that they are not required to do their prescribed duties, but still one should do his prescribed duties. Why? In order to set an example. So sometimes we may be in a situation, probably our elders in the family or or anybody else, there may be social obligations where we are required to do certain things. Now, one may say, but I am a devotee, I don't have to fulfill all these obligations. But then again, Krishna says to set an example. So always we must use our intelligence. You do your prescribed duties, if you receive an instruction from an elder in the family, you don't want to create a conflict in the family and say that, no, I will not do this because no. You still do it because you want to set an example, and we don't want to create conflicts, right? You must always use our intelligence. As long as the instruction is within the framework of Shastra, is not that, oh, you have to eat meat because it is our tradition that on such and such a day we eat meat in the house. No, no, not the sinful activities, no. But otherwise, yes. Okay, whatever are the customs within the framework of Shastra, although we don't have to do it, still we do it to set an example and in order not to create a conflict. See, in 8.28 purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the beauty of Krishna consciousness, however, is that by one stroke, by engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all the rituals of the different orders of life. So irrespective of whether you're a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all the rituals of the different orders everything can be surpassed just by engaging in devotional service. That is the beauty. So it makes life that much more simple and that much more easier. If you want to climb a 100-floor building, I would prefer to take the elevator. Some people may prefer to take the staircase. I don't know. But Krishna consciousness is the elevator that will take you to the top floor of the building in the shortest period of time. Now we come to the last section of this chapter, verses 34 to 42. Here, Krishna talks about the method, results, and glories of attaining Divya Jnana or transcendental knowledge. This 4.34 is the verse that we were discussing. Very, very important shloka. And it's a good shloka if you want to memorize. You can memorize this shloka.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekchanti te jnanam jnaninah tattvadarshinaha.
Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from his submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth.
So here Krishna is recommending that you must accept a spiritual master. Of course, spiritual master should be a bona fide spiritual master belonging to a bona fide disciplic succession. We don't want to accept a bogus guru. So there are three things here Krishna is saying: pranipat, pariprashnena, and sevaya. So what is pranipat? Pranipat means surrender. We have to surrender to a guru. Surrendering to a guru means to accept the instructions from your superior, right? One must be willing to execute the order of the guru as it is, no matter what it may be. Even if it seems to be an impossible instruction, one must try to execute the instruction. Just as how Srila Prabhupada received a seemingly impossible instruction from his guru: go to the West and preach and spread this Krishna consciousness in the English language. Now, Prabhupada has he had no money. He went on a free ticket. He had only 40 rupees. That was equivalent to $7 at that time. He had only 40 rupees in his pocket. He does not even have age by his side. He does not even have health by his side. He suffered 2 massive attacks on that boat, on the Jaladuta, when he was on the way to New York. So Prabhupada had nothing going for him, but what Prabhupada had was firm faith in the instruction of the spiritual master. When a guru gives you an instruction, he also gives you the blessing to be able to execute that instruction. The guru just does not give an instruction, right? So even though it may seem impossible, it may seem difficult, but still, because the guru has given you the instruction, he has also given you the blessing. And with the blessings of the guru, one can attain even the impossible. So surrender. Krishna is saying, learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, pranipat, surrender. Then inquire from him. So a disciple always has the right to ask questions. Krishna is not encouraging blind faith. Krishna is not saying blindly just believe what the guru says. No, he's saying you inquire from the guru. So a disciple always has the right to ask questions. But how you have to ask the questions? Krishna says you have to ask submissively. So how you ask matters. Always with a submissive, humble attitude, we can inquire from the spiritual master. And render service unto him. We have to sevaya. We have to render service. Service to Guru is the key to going back home, back to Godhead. If you can please the Guru, then even though one may lack the merits, one can go back home, back to Godhead. One must render service to the Guru like a menial servant, If the Guru is pleased by your service, by your sincerity, then that is the secret to success in your spiritual life. Then Krishna says, the self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you. How can they give us knowledge? Because they have seen the truth. They themselves have seen. They are tattva darshina. They are the seers of the truth. So because they have seen the truth, they can give you knowledge. So one must not look at the Guru as an ordinary human being. He may have the same eyes, ears, nose, hands, legs like all of us. But that does not mean he's an ordinary human being. He is someone who has seen the truth. And therefore we should surrender to such a person. See, 3 components we discussed: pranipat, pariprashnena, and seva. Surrender, submission, inquiry, and service. So what are the considerations for Guru Padashraya? What should we consider when we choose a Guru? What are the important things we must consider when we choose a Guru? What do we want in a Guru?
Guru should have Guru Parampara. Rather, Guru
He should belong to a bona fide Guru Parampara. Yes, very nice.
Someone who can deliver us.
He should be able to deliver us. So when will he be able to deliver us?
When he knows Shastras. Whenever we ask the questions, he should get it from Shastras.
Okay, that even Ravan could do.
When we follow the instruction of our Guru Maharaj.
We should follow the instruction of Guru Maharaj, and that Guru should follow the instruction of his Guru Maharaj. It comes in a disciplic succession. Very nice. Then?
Hare Krishna.
I think it should be full surrender, because when you surrender, then you have faith in the Lord. And when you have faith in the Lord, everything just works out.
Okay, so the Guru should be one person who has surrendered to Guru and Krishna.
No, we also should surrender. Only then.
Yes. We also should surrender. But now we are discussing considerations for Guru. So what should we consider when we choose a Guru?
We get happiness.
We get happiness. But what
should
we look for? If I have to choose a Guru, then what should I see if this person can be accepted as Guru or no?
He should be under Krishna consciousness, chanting, following the 4 regulative principles.
He himself should be following the rules and regulations. He himself should be chanting, and he himself should be following the regulative principles. Yes, because one has to practice what you preach. Very nice. Then
he should touch your heart and should make you believe what he's saying. I would do. I mean, if it's your heart, that because even a bogus guru could also try to give all type of shastras and all that thing, but he's not a guru. It's really somebody who, I mean, you can see the guru when you see in his eyes and when his words touch your heart, something like that. I don't know, maybe I could be wrong in saying that.
Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. Because the Guru, when does a Guru touch your heart? When the Guru speaks, what is it that touches our heart? What is it that immediately appeals to us? Anything that is
from the Shastra and the Vedas, when he's come down from the disciple succession.
Yes. See,
And
the
he
point
seems to
is
result in the
whenever there is
something.
purity, whenever and wherever there is purity, we will be attracted. Our heart goes to that person or to that thing which is pure. We like no pure air. We go to hill stations. We like pure water. So wherever purity is maintained, there it appeals to the heart. So if the guru is a pure devotee, then he will appeal to the heart. Then what the guru speaks will appeal to us. We say guru is someone whom we should like to hear because we are hearing from the guru, isn't it? Hearing is see, there are 9 items of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam. It starts with Shravanam and Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. So hearing is very, very important. So we should like to hear from the guru. So when the guru speaks from the Shastra, if his message is pure, then it will appeal to our heart. Very nice, Lal. What else?
Exactly. That's what I mean to say. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hare Krishna, Sanam.
Hare Krishna.
The Guru should not claim that he is God.
A guru will never claim that he is God. Yes, because a guru will always say that I am the servant of God. One who claims that he is God, Prabhupada said, is dog. So a guru will never say that he is God. He'll always say that he is the servant of God. Very nice.
It's true.
What
That
else?
he's good example. He gives us the perfect example. He obeys all the things.
Yes, he's the perfect example. He teaches by example. By his own example, he is preaching. Very nice.
And he should have Sama, Dhamma, Tapa, Socha, Shanti, Avrajam, all these qualities. You
Okay,
know,
so the qualities. He
Nidam.
should have all the qualities of a pure devotee. Very nice. Then personal qualities. Then anything else?
Maybe
We should
something
listen
is
to
not.
him what he says.
What's that?
Guru,
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Guru should have courage to say when something is wrong.
Yes, he should not twist the statement. Guru should preach the message as it is, not as you like. No, not because if I say this, then I will have more followers. No, you cannot twist the Shastra because I want to please someone else. He should be courageous enough to say the truth as it is. Very nice. Then
We should listen to him when he tells us to do the meditation regularly.
we have to follow the instructions of the Guru as it is.
Gurus.
Very nice. Then, okay, let's see what we have here. Sampradaya, Parampara, institution, and individual qualities. We have covered more than what we have on our list. Right? Institution is a favorable condition. It's not a compulsory condition because it has a certain impact. See, if one goes to a prestigious university, international university, and says that I have come from Vrindavan and I'm coming here to give you the science of Krishna consciousness, it will have a certain impact. But if somebody says that I belong to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and I'm here to give you the science of Krishna consciousness, then it has a better impact on the person. So when one belongs to a certain institution, then that is a favorable condition. The others we have discussed. What are the non-considerations? What is not important to consider when we have to choose a guru?
His past life.
What's that, Ranjit?
His past life before surrendering to Krishna.
Yeah, what was his past before he surrendered to Krishna? Very nice.
Not consider his varna or caste or anything.
Caste. Caste is not a consideration. One may be born in a Shudra family, but if he has elevated himself because of the work he does and because he has surrendered to Guru, then it does not matter whether he's born in a Shudra family or a Brahmana family. Very nice. So caste is not a consideration. Then?
Body.
Body? You mean? What do you mean by body?
Like it doesn't matter whether he's old or young.
Age. Age does not matter. A self-realized soul can even be a teenager, right? He may be even a child, but he may be fully self-realized. Like Dhruv and Prahlad, they were fully self-realized when only they were 5 years old. Sukadeva Goswami was only 16 years old when he spoke the Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit. So age is not a consideration. Very nice. Or just because somebody is senior in age does not mean that he can be a guru. Okay, very nice. Then what else does not matter when we choose a guru?
When he promises miracles, because it's not in his hands to do miracles.
Yes, just because somebody is performing some miracles, producing some gold, producing some ash, or just because he can walk on water, or he can transport himself from one place to another place, that doesn't mean that he's a pure devotee. They are siddhas. These people who can walk on water or transport themselves from one place to the other place, they are siddhas. They are getting these extraordinary powers because of their extreme tapasya. And it may be coming from the previous life also. But they just because they are doing some jugglery or some magic tricks or they have some mystic powers, it does not mean that that person is a pure devotee and has the ability to take you back home, back to Godhead. Very nice.
Thank you.
What else?
Guru never asks donation.
He
It is up
never
to
asks
us.
for donation. He does not charge, right? But the disciple's duty is to give a donation to the Guru, but the Guru does not ask for it. Very nice. Then what else?
Also, Guru don't ask to go down and respect, pray him.
Yeah, the Guru may encourage you to pray to him, to surrender to him, because by surrendering to Guru only we can surrender to Krishna. So the Guru will teach you the method that this is how it should be done, because one may think that I will directly approach Krishna. So for the sake of educating his disciples, he would say that, yes, you have to offer obeisances. You have to, because we attain Krishna through the disciplic succession, right? After first grade, we go to second grade, third grade, like that. So the Guru will teach us that you have to do this because that's what the Shastra says, right? Okay. But the Guru always wants you to... What's that?
Sorry. A question on donation. Guru can ask for donation, right? So because we see on old age Brahmana used to go door to door to ask for donations or
No,
alimonies.
that is bhiksha. That is big. See, ask is bhiksha. That is begging. That's not demanding. There is a difference between begging and demanding. When the Guru goes, they ask for. I mean, not the Guru. Actually, he's the Brahmana, and they live by begging. That's not demanding. Okay, so ask means what asking? Are we begging or are we demanding? That distinction we have to make. What
We
else?
should not eat anything free, what we get from the temple or anything. We must pay for it.
Yeah, because that is part of your devotional service. No, we don't want to be eating into the funds of the Lord. We should contribute to the Lord. Okay, very nice. Okay, let's see what we have here. Non-considerations country. Even country does not matter. It's not necessary that the Guru should only be someone who's Indian. A Guru can be American, he can be Russian, he can be African. A self-realized soul can belong to any country. Not necessarily that he's the exclusive property of only Indians. A Guru can belong to any country, he can be a self-realized soul. Age, we already discussed. Physical appearance also. Just because somebody is young or old or rich or poor or fat or thin or beautiful or ugly looking, it does not matter. Birth, we already discussed also. He may be born in a Brahmin or he may be born in a meat eater's family, but does not matter. Caste also, he may be belonging to a certain caste. High caste, low caste, untouchable also. It does not matter when we choose a Guru. Okay. See here, Upadeshamrita, nectar of instruction. We have this quote: a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So one who is qualified to make disciples, one who is qualified to become a guru is somebody who can tolerate these different urges that are mentioned here. Then this another quote from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. So a bona fide guru is one, he himself is convinced of the Shastras and he has the ability to convince the others also of the Shastras. So this is the potency of a pure devotee. Purity is a force. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. So these are the important points that we should consider when choosing a guru. One who cannot deliver his dependents from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master, a father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipable demigod. So if one does not have the ability to deliver his dependents, if the guru does not have the ability to take the disciple back to the spiritual world, then he should not become a guru. So a guru is one who has the ability, the potency to take his disciples back to the spiritual world. Then this other quote, whether one is a Brahmana, a sannyasi, or a Shudra, regardless of what he is, he can become a spiritual master if he knows the science of Krishna. So we just discussed, it doesn't matter what caste or varna he belongs to. All he needs to know is the science of Krishna. This is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. CC means Chaitanya Charitamrita. So as we have previously discussed, there are 4 bona fide sampradayas, Brahma Sampradaya, Lakshmi Sampradaya, Shiva Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and the Kumara Sampradaya. So each Sampradaya has its prominent Acharya. Madhvacharya is for Brahma Sampradaya, Ramanujacharya is for Lakshmi Sampradaya, for Rudra Sampradaya we have Vishnu Swami, and we have Nimbarkacharya for the Kumara Sampradaya. So where does ISKCON stand here? ISKCON belongs to Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. So ISKCON Sampradaya is coming from Lord Brahma. And then we have Madhvacharya. And why Gaudiya is because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Sampradaya is called Gaudiya. Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. So here we can see how Srila Prabhupada is at number 32 in this Sampradaya. Unfortunately, in this age of Kali, there are many bogus gurus who display magic to their disciples, just what Lal was saying now. And many foolish disciples want to see such magic for material benefits. These disciples are not interested in pursuing spiritual life to save themselves from the darkness of ignorance. So what happens, one who follows a cheetah guru is actually, one is not sincere. If one is not sincere and wants to continue to do nonsense in one's spiritual life, and so he will accept a cheetah guru who will allow him to do. He'll say, okay, you can engage in meat eating, intoxication, no problem. I give you the permission. And the disciple also is happy. And he's saying that I am safe. I have a guru and my guru is allowing me to engage in sinful activity. But what is going to happen? Such gurus will go to hell and all their followers also will go to hell. Such gurus do not have the ability to take you back home, back to Godhead. So sometimes gurus bogus gurus will allow you such things. Why? Because they need money, they need fame, they need followers. But such gurus do not have the ability to take you back home, back to Godhead. So one should seek a guru to show the way, not to sanction your way. Don't think that I want to do this, so I will see a guru who can sanction what I want. No, a guru should show you the right way and you have to follow that way. So seek a guru to show the way, not to sanction your way. Very, very important. Listen. In this picture, we can see this is Srila Prabhupada. He's receiving his initiation from his spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Change of guru. When can we change a guru?
When he's fallen, when he's not teaching us from the Shastra, Vedas, and disciple succession and sadhu, when his words doesn't match up with the Vedas and the Shastras.
Yes. So whom do you see in the picture here?
We see Vamandev and
So
his Guru Maharaj, which is Shukracharya.
Yeah, Shukracharya is the guru of
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj. So when Vamanadev came to ask 3 steps of land, actually Shukracharya told Bali Maharaj that this is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And do not agree to what he is asking. That time Bali Maharaj said that no, I will surrender to him. So actually a guru will always teach you to surrender to Krishna. He will always teach you to surrender to the Lord. In this case, Shukracharya told him, do not surrender. So therefore Bali Maharaj did not follow the instructions of his guru. So one can change the guru if the guru is not representing the Sampradaya principles. Now, another case is disappearance. If the spiritual master passes away, and after shelter before initiation means, see in ISKCON, at least there are 3 stages for initiation. One is aspiring, one is shelter, and then third stage is initiation. So one takes aspiring because let's say one connects. Same, ISKCON is a multi-guru organization. So one can choose a guru according to what you think, your compatibility and so many other factors. And of course, the guru also should be willing to accept the disciple. So a disciple may approach a guru, and the guru also, if he's ready to accept you as a disciple, then that is called aspiring. And then you follow as much as you can until you reach the stage of chanting 16 rounds and following 4 regulative principles. Now, when you are able to chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles continuously for a 6-month period, then you get shelter. And after shelter, if you continue to follow at least for 6 months, the 4 regulative principles and the chanting of the 16 rounds, then you can take initiation. So this is the system in ISKCON. So let's say somebody has taken shelter. He has not yet taken initiation, but the guru has passed away. Then he will have to choose somebody else as a spiritual master, because yes, he took shelter from one person, but he passed away. So, but still he was not initiated. Therefore, he can take initiation from another guru. And then disappearance after initiation from Shiksha point of view. Let's say one is already initiated, and then after that the spiritual master passes away, then we can accept a senior devotee as a Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru, there are different kinds of gurus. The 3 most prominent types of gurus are Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, and Vartama Pradikshina Guru. Shiksha Guru is one who teaches you, who gives you knowledge, who can guide you, who can counsel you. Diksha Guru is the one who actually takes your karma. He takes your karma, and there is an official initiation, there is a yagya, and you take the vows and you promise the guru that, okay, I will chant 16 rounds minimum and follow the 4 regulative principles. So we make these vows. So that is a Diksha Guru. And Vartama Pradikshina Guru is one who shows you the way. For, in some cases, maybe the parents are your Vartama Pradikshina Guru, or maybe a sibling or a friend. Maybe somebody who shows you the way. In the case of Dhruv Maharaj, it was his mother, because it was his mother who told him that go to the forest and meditate on Lord Vishnu, wasn't it? And then Narada Muni gave him the instruction on how he should do it. So after initiation, the spiritual master has passed away, then one can take instructions from a senior devotee, accept him as your Shiksha Guru, because in spiritual life, it is always very important to have the guidance of someone who's superior to you, someone who's senior to you. If you think that I know everything, I can do everything by myself, I know what to do, what is right, what is wrong, then one will be lost. It's very important to always have a senior devotee and take guidance from that senior devotee. Okay, let's go to 35.
यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषाणि द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि.
Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusions. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in the other words, that they are mine.
So Krishna is saying, na punar moham, na punar moham. You will not fall again into such illusion when you obtain real knowledge from a self-realized soul. When you obtain spiritual knowledge from your guru, then you will not fall into Maya. Why? Because then you can see that all the living entities are parts and parcels of the Supreme. We are parts and parcels. We are the servants of the Lord, and therefore we have to engage in seva. There is no question of love without seva. So when one can understand that what is my constitutional position? My constitutional position is that I am a servant, and as a servant I have to serve. So then when we serve the Lord, when we keep the Lord in the center of our lives, not ourselves in the center of our life, but what I want, what I like to eat, what I like to wear, where I want to go, how will I enjoy the party? No, we keep the Lord in the center. What is it that the Lord wants me to do? What does the Lord like to eat? What can I offer to the Lord today? Will the Lord be pleased if I watch this movie? Will the Lord be pleased if I watch this cricket match? Or the Lord will be pleased when I attend the Bhagavad Gita class? Or the Lord will be pleased when I read the Bhagavad Gita? So we keep Krishna in the center. And then Krishna says, but parts and parcels of Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So here Krishna is declaring that he is that Supreme Personality of Godhead. 36.
अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि.
Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of the sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the oceans of miseries.
So Krishna is saying that you may be the most sinful person, most sinful of all the sinners, but still, if you take to transcendental knowledge, then you can cross over the ocean of miseries. See, a boat can take you across the ocean. Although if you're in the ocean without the boat, then you can drown. But if you get onto the boat, then the boat has the ability to float even in the water. So like that, one may be the most sinful person, but if we climb onto this boat of transcendental knowledge, then we can cross over this this material world. We can cross over this ocean of miseries. The boat is actually against the law of gravity, isn't it? So like that, even though the general rule is that sinful people cannot cross the ocean of miseries, so the boat of transcendental knowledge is that boat which is against the law of gravity, which is against the general rule that sinful people will have to remain here. And therefore, that way we can cross over this ocean of miseries, or we can cross over the material world. Now let's read this very nice article that is written by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. He says, don't blame gravity for the sinking of the boat. I succumbed to immoral indulgences because my material desires were too strong. This justification is faulty, like blaming gravity for the sinking of a boat. When we start practicing devotional service, we metaphorically board a boat for going to Krishna's eternal abode. Just as how physical boats are designed to float in spite of gravity, so the boat of devotional service is designed to float in spite of the gravity force of material desires. Some of us may have deep-rooted material conditionings, so we may feel strongly dragged down by material desires. But the Bhagavad Gita assures that whatever be our past conditionings, the boat of spiritual knowledge can take us across the ocean of material existence. A normal boat may sink because of either the boatman's mistakes or factors beyond human control, like stormy waves. When we board the special boat of devotional service, Krishna can take care of all factors beyond our control. But we alone have to protect ourselves from our mistakes. If we fall from our principles, the cause is not the gravity force of material desires, but our own carelessness. Fortunately, the boat of devotional service is transcendental and indestructible. We can always reboard it and recommence our spiritual journey. So don't blame gravity for the sinking of the boat. Okay, let's go to 37.
यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निर्भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा.
As the blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burns to ashes all reactions to material activities.
See, this is how a fire will burn firewood to ashes. In the same way, knowledge can burn into ashes all the sinful reactions or all the good reactions also to material activities. So remember, we have discussed that even if we do punya, we have to come back to the material world, isn't it? So what Krishna is saying is that the fire of knowledge, so he's comparing knowledge to fire. He's saying that the fire of knowledge can burn to ashes all reactions to material activities. See, there are two types of reactions, pious and impious, punya and papa. Now, one may see so many disparities in the world, and one may wonder why. If one does not have proper knowledge, then one wonders why. So there is beauty and there is ugly. There is rich and there is poor. Some people are born rich and probably they work very less, or they probably don't work at all, but they have a lot of money, and others may be sweating it out, but still they'll remain in poverty all their life. Then there is strong and there is weak. Some people are just born handicapped, right? Some have strong bodies. Some have a healthy body. Some have a diseased body. So the disease may be by birth itself. So these diseased bodies or ugly bodies or poor bodies, these are all a result of our sinful reactions. How did we get a certain body? Because when we are born, it's not that we are beginning from zero. No, we are carrying the balance of our previous so many other lifetimes, right? So if we have a diseased body or a poor body or any of these non-favorable bodies, then it is a result of our sinful reactions from the previous lifetimes. And all these pious reactions, all these good bodies are a result of our punya karmas, pious reactions. Now, sins can be divided into two categories, prarabdha and aprarabdha. What are prarabdha sins? Prarabdha sins are those for which the living entity must suffer the reactions in his present lifespan. So those reactions which I have to suffer in this lifetime itself, those are called as prarabdha sins. So the kind of body one has, if one is beautiful, one is healthy, then it's because in this lifetime that person is getting the reactions of a previous karma or even the sinful activities. So birth in a Brahmin family, a wealthy family, or a poor family, or having beautiful personal features or being ugly are all the results of prarabdha karma, because in this lifetime, I'm going to get that karma. Now, within the jurisdiction of eternal law, the jiva is bound to suffer the reactions of the sins he has committed in his innumerable lifetimes. So millions of lifetimes we have passed, isn't it? And we are bound to suffer the reactions of those sins. Now, not necessary that we are going to pay all of that in one lifetime. It may come in this lifetime or in the next lifetime or in the next million lifetimes also. That we cannot say. It's very complex. We cannot understand that. But what is the good news? Bhakti completely destroys all the klesha or distress. It destroys both prarabdha and aprarabdha karma. So bhakti can destroy both prarabdha and aprarabdha. So prarabdha karma is that which we get in this lifetime, and aprarabdha karma is that which we will get in a future lifetime. See, Srimad Bhagavatam says, to say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face, even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, and even remembers him. So even if somebody is born in a family of dog eaters, he is eligible to perform yagyas. So he's become Brahmanical if he just utters the holy name of the Lord only once or chants about him. So you see the glory of Bhakti Yoga, how easy and merciful it makes. I mean, it makes life easy. It's easy to practice, and the Lord is so merciful that even though we are not qualified, we can advance spiritually based on the mercy quota. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the first characteristics of Kevala Bhakti. Kevala Bhakti means pure devotee, only Bhakti. Bhakti is not mixed with anything else, nothing. It's pure devotee. So what is the first characteristic of Kevala Bhakti is Kleshagni, the mitigation of suffering. Kleshagni means that this Bhakti completely destroys all sin, papa, destroys the seed of sin, papa bija. It destroys ignorance, avidya, and also destroys currently fructifying reaction, prarabdha karma, and unfructified reaction, aprarabdha karma. So there may be some reaction that is coming soon in this lifetime itself. It's probably coming tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next month, next year, 5 years from now. We don't know, but that is called as prarabdha karma, which is going to come currently fructifying. So aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam falonmukham. Kramenaiva praliyante Vishnu bhakti ratatmana. There are different stages of dormant reactions to sinful activities to be observed in a sinful life. Sinful reactions may be just waiting to take effect. Falonmukha, just waiting to take effect. Reactions may be still further dormant, kuta. or the reactions may be in a seed-like state, bija. So kutam, bijam, and phalonmukha. Bija means the reaction of that karma is still in a seed-like state. So it's going to take a lot of time for it to fructify. It's definitely not coming in this lifetime. Then kuta means it is still dormant. It is growing. It has grown. The seed has grown. Yes, but it has not yet given fruits. The tree has not yet started to give fruits. So it is not in the seed-like state. It is not so distant, but it is not so far away either. And phalonmukha means it is just waiting to take effect. The fruit has already come. We just have to go and pluck it, or it has to just come to us. So just waiting to take effect is phalonmukha. In any case, it doesn't matter whether the reaction are in bija state or kuta state or phalonmukha state. In any case, all types of sinful reactions are vanquished one after the other if one engages in the devotional service of Lord Vishnu. So who is saying this? It's there in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or the Nectar of Devotion by Sanatan Goswami. So sins can be divided into two, aprarabdha and prarabdha. Prarabdha is phalonmukham, with that which is going to take place very soon, because it is going to come in this very lifetime. And aprarabdha is that which will come in the future lifetime, that is in the bija state, in the seed state, or the kutam stage. It has grown a little bit, but not fully. So kutam, bijam, phalonmukham. See, for example, kutam is sinful tendency. One is thinking, should I steal this money? So he's still thinking, he's not yet made a decision. So it is still in the kutam stage. Bijam, I will steal this money on such a date. So he has already sown the seeds, the sinful desire. He's already made up his mind. Then he actually steals the money. The policeman is after him. But still here the reaction has not yet come. It is coming, but it has not yet come. But finally, when he's arrested, yes, now the reaction is manifest. Now it is prarabdha. The reaction has already come. Aprarabdha means it has not yet come. Another example, should I enjoy this lady? He's still thinking. So that is still a tendency only. Now he is decided, I will enjoy with this lady in next month's drinking party. So bijam. Now he has sown the seeds. The seed means it is going to grow. So when that seed grows, he actually engages in the act, unmanifest reaction, aprarabdha. Now because he has engaged in it, definitely the reaction is going to come. Not necessarily in this lifetime, in a future lifetime. But now when he gets a disease, then now the reaction has manifested. Now it is prarabdha karma. The karma has come in this very lifetime. So anyway, the center point is that if we engage in bhakti, bhakti has the potency to remove all the prarabdha as well as aprarabdha sins. Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice example in this lecture. He says, one who is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then all his reactions of past sinful activities, gradually they become vanquished. There are different stages. Just like I have infected some, say, for cholera today. Immediately cholera does not take place. After 2 or 3 days, the cholera appears. It takes some time. Just like if you sow a seed of a tree, immediately it does not become a tree and gives its fruits, delivers its fruit. It takes some time. Therefore, imperceptibly or knowingly or unknowingly, we are doing so many sinful activities. So they are in the seedling stage, then growing stage. Then when we suffer, that is called prarabdha. Prarabdha means now receive the result. So in this way, we are sowing some seeds. That will take its reaction, either in this body or another body. It takes time to fructify. So, but if we are act in Krishna consciousness, then it is like a fried seed. If you sow in a land, it will not fructify, fried seed. So this is a fried seed. Our activities can be made a fried seed by the fire of Krishna consciousness. So there will be no reaction. So when we engage in Krishna consciousness, when we do bhakti, then the seed becomes fried. A fried seed is never going to grow. So the point is that bhakti can burn all reactions, both prarabdha and aprarabdha. See this picture here. As long as we are living, we are bound to commit sinful activities, because we may commit sinful activities even unknowingly. Just by our breathing, by cooking, by walking on the road, we are killing so many living entities. So the reactions are there. Now those reactions are either aprarabdha or prarabdha. Either they will manifest in this lifetime or they will come in the future. Now, in the future lifetimes also, there are going to be sinful propensities, there are going to be sinful desires. So that these sinful propensities and sinful desires are again going to lead to more sin. More sin, again we commit the sin, again there is going to be reaction, aprarabdha then prarabdha. So the cycle will continue eternally until we surrender to Guru and Krishna. Because the Guru tells you how to engage in devotional service. It's a Guru who teaches you how you can do bhakti. It's not something that read the manual on your own and follow the instructions. It does not work that way. Because even if you know the mantra and even if you follow the instructions, still you need the blessings of the Guru to advance in your spiritual life. Without the blessings of the Guru, we cannot advance in our spiritual life. Now, what is the difference between papa and aparadha? Is there a difference between papa and aparadha?
Pap is sinful activity, and aparad is like offenses, towards the spiritual master or your harinam or stuff like that to a devotee.
So which is a more serious crime?
I think aparad is more serious because aparad, if you do Vaishnava aparad, that can take you down from your Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting. It can make you actually stop chanting, and you can actually end up in hell also.
Okay. So papa means sin and aparadha means offense. So aparadha is a more serious crime. Now next question is, after coming to bhakti, can papa or sin become an aparadha or offense? After coming to bhakti, can papa become aparadha?
Can sin become aparad? Yes. What do you mean? What do you mean? Sin is
After coming to bhakti, can an activity become from a sinful activity become an aparad?
I don't think.
Yes.
I
For
think
example,
so.
for
So
example,
explain.
while eating food, you can have normal food which is sinful, whilst you can change that to prasad in this case. So
Yeah,
it
but
became
the
from
question is, after I come to bhakti, can I convert, can an active, see, let me only give the example. Let's take the example of, let's say one is eating meat. It is pap or it is aparad?
It is sin.
It is pap, correct? Now, after the person has accepted a guru, he has taken initiation and he's promised the guru no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. And now he eats meat. Now it is pap or it is aparad?
Aparad.
Aparad.
Now it is aparad. What kind of aparad it is?
It is
Isn't it?
aparad.
So after coming to bhakti, pap can become aparad. So we have to be very, very careful. After initiation, we have to be even more careful not to commit any mistakes. Because now after initiation, otherwise what would have been considered a pap, that now becomes an aparad. It becomes a guru aparad. Because you're breaking the promise you made to your spiritual master. How to nullify an aparad?
Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You keep chanting Hare Krishna.
Saying apologizing to the person you offended.
You have to ask forgiveness from the person you have offended. Yes, very nice, Ayush. Chanting the Mahamantra can nullify your sins. But when we commit an aparad, if we offend a guru or if we offend a Vaishnava or we offend the Lord, then we have to ask forgiveness from the guru, from the person you have offended, from the Lord. Okay. We have seen the story of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. Isn't it? Durvasa Muni offended Ambarish Maharaj. So the Sudarshan Chakra appeared in order to save Ambarish. So Durvasa Muni has gone to Brahma Loka, he has gone to Shiva Loka, and he went to even Lord Vishnu. And all of them said that I cannot save you from the chakra. And what did Lord Vishnu say? That even though that weapon is mine, I will not save you until you go and ask forgiveness from Ambarish Maharaj himself. So only when Durvasa asked forgiveness from Ambarish was his aparad forgiven. So the only way that your aparad can be forgiven is by asking forgiveness from the person you have offended. Now the holy name. Now Sri Hari Radha said chanting of the holy name. So does the holy name have the potency to nullify an aparadha is the question. Does it have the potency?
Yeah.
Yes.
Some.
It has the potency. Then why don't we just chant? Why should we ask for forgiveness from the person we have offended?
First, you
Just
have to
chant
make
and nullify it.
First, you have to make an attempt and ask for forgiveness, like really mean it. And sometimes they will not forgive you. But then you chant, and over the time, Krishna is so merciful that it will, I think, after you chant, it will nullify it.
Okay, let's take an
Yes,
example.
yes. The answer is yes.
Let's take an, yes, it has the potency. So the holy name does have the potency. It's not that it does not have the potency, but the potency is locked by the Lord. Just as how we may have money in a bank, in our bank balance. But if we are committing crime, then the government or the bank may decide to freeze the account. Technically, there is money in the account, but we cannot use the money because the account has been frozen. So it's like that. The potency is there in the holy name, but the Lord has locked the potency. He wants you to ask forgiveness from the person you have offended. So the holy name has a lot of potency, but the potency is locked. So that's why when one commits an aparad, one must ask for forgiveness from the person we have offended. We have to be very, 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 very careful when we deal with devotees. We don't want to offend a devotee. We don't want to offend a Vaishnava. We do not want to offend the Lord. We do not want to offend the spiritual master. We should be very careful in our dealings. Otherwise, immediately it will bring a slide down in your spiritual life. It will crash down.
Mataji, I have one question. How do we know that we have done aparadha? I mean, sometimes you are chanting really good 16 rounds, and then it stops, or you fall down, and sometimes you think, okay, maybe I've done aparadha, or sometimes it's just health issues and other things that's going on. How can one be sure that I have done an aparadha? That's why my chanting has stopped or has come down, and so forth.
Yeah, so you need to think and contemplate on what you have been doing lately. Perhaps you said something to someone, and perhaps, or probably, something we may have said and we thought it was very normal, but the person felt offended. So we have to contemplate on what happened that my spiritual life is not advancing. Contemplate on it, and it's always good to ask, whenever you meet your guru or whenever you meet advanced Vaishnavas, or you say something, or sometimes there is just a healthy discussion between two Vaishnavas, and you're saying, in my opinion, like that. And then in the end, you say, please forgive me for any offenses that I may have committed knowingly, unknowingly. When you pray to the Lord, also ask for offenses. When you speak to the guru, also tell the guru, please, Guru Maharaj, forgive my knowing or unknowing offenses that I may have committed, like that.
But okay, that makes sense. But like now I said that anyone who has said the Hare Krishna mantra once, they're considered devotee, right? And they're considered. Am I correct?
No, they are qualified to perform yagyas, is what that statement said.
So they're not considered devotees.
The statement says, even if you're born in a family of dog eaters, if you chant the Hare Krishna mantra even once, you are qualified to do yagyas.
Then okay, but one who's not initiated, if they say the Harinam, what are they considered at that time?
See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the definition of a devotee in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He gives 3 stages. First of all, he says anyone who chants the mantra even once is a devotee. Then he says one who chants the Hare Krishna mantra incessantly is a devotee. Then he says one who chants the Hare Krishna mantra and convinces others also to chant, he is a devotee. So there are different gradations.
Yeah, but all 3 of them are devotees, right?
Yes, but not necessarily pure devotees.
But one can do an offense against all 3 of them, right?
Yes.
And once you do that, you will fall down.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question too. Didn't Prabhupada said about millions and billions of birth or millenniums or something that if you fall down, you'll have to take millions of birth? There's a lecture on this of Prabhupada that if you make an offense, aparad to a Vaishnava or something, and you fall down or something, then you'll have to take millions of birth to come back or something like that.
Yeah, it's if Prabhupada said it, then of course it is true.
So basically, if someone cannot chant anymore and their chanting is completely stopped, and all they do is listen to classes and Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, so that means that they've done aparadh and now they have to take like millions of birth too.
Yeah, because the offense has not yet been negated, right?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay, then we will stop here. We will continue the class. We have 5 more shlokas before we complete the chapter, but time does not permit. So hopefully we will complete the chapter in the next class of Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय जय श्री राम माता जी की जय जय जय
जय।
पताका महाराज की जय शिल प्रभुपाद
जय।
गुरुदेव की जय थैंक यू माता
जय।
जी कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम टू योर सिंसियर सेवा फ्रॉम लास्ट 2-3 years हरि हरि गौरांगा थैंक यू राधे कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम
Thank you.
please pray for all of us that we will enter in Sita Vrindavan Dham Sisi Mahapur Dham and Sisi Jagannath Puri Dham.
You're traveling, Mataji?
No, Mataji, please pray for me. Maybe in January, February, because that time work is very less. So I pray for my family that I wants to take my husband and my 2 daughters too in a yatra. Not only me wants to do a yatra.
Jai, Jai. Please, yeah, of course, we pray that you can travel safe and have a nice, blissful, transcendental experience in the dhams. And when you are there, please pray for all of us. Please pray for our spiritual well-beings, Mataji.
Mataji, for all the Vaishnavas of spiritual family, those who are trained under you, please pray for all the Vaishnava, not only me.
Yes, 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 Mataji. Of course, prayers are for, we are a spiritual family. So we pray for the spiritual well-being of all of us. And when you are in the dham, please remember all of us, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm, as you know, this is my situation, the death in the family. After the 9th, I've been told that I can go to temple and all that. So I'm trying like next weekend at least, to go to West Virginia, New Vrindavan temple. So please, all of you give your blessings because some problems are coming, you know, but I've already planned, I've already booked my room and everything that I can go and get darshan in this month of Kartik.
Jai
So all of your
Ho!
blessings. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but I'm trying, you know, because we have booked it like a month, 2 months back, and then suddenly the death happened, and then I was told you can't go, you can't do this. But after the 9th, they've told me that I can go to temple, but I need all your blessings and prayers, please, that I can go. I want to take my 2 daughters this time because they will be at home. So I don't know how that will work, but if you all Vaishnavas give your blessings, yeah, I'm sure it will happen. Hare Krishna, Dhanur pronouns to all of your lotus feet.
May
Jai
Krishna
Ho. Srila Prabhupada told
Hare
Mataji that there is no difference between Sridham Vrindavan Dham and Sisi New Vrindavan Dham. So you are already entering Sridham Vrindavan Dham by entering Golden Temple. I don't know whether I am right or wrong.
You're right,
Yes,
Mataji.
yes.
So please give your blessings when the Gopika Mataji and all of you, all of the Vaishnavas. It's very much needed because I'm taking somebody else, you know, I'm taking 3 other people for the first time with me. And
Take your ma, papa and your sister.
I'm taking my mother, but I'm taking 3 other people that are not into Krishna consciousness, but they know about. I taken them to a temple, local temple, ISKCON temple here. So they had a desire that we want. I told them about it. They were like, "We want to go." I said, "I will take you." But then when this passing of my father-in-law happened, we didn't cancel anything. We still want to go. So I need your blessings so I can take these 3
Jai
souls
Ho.
for the first time, you know. So humbly request to your lotus, all of your lotus feet, that please give your blessings that I can also take my 2 daughters with me because it's the month of Kartik and I want to take them for darshan so they also get the Lordship's blessings.
May Krishna fulfill all your sincere desires, Shivani.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Koti Koti Dhanur Pranam to your lotus feet and all the Vaishnavas on this call. Lotus feet, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so we will end today's session. Thank you all very much for joining. Vancha kalpataruvyaschа kripa sindhu vevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhagavad Gita.
Krishna Mataji ki jai,
Jai.
Pataka
Jai.
Maharaj ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
no
Krishna.
pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.